food spending is well documented on this YouTube channel as being my biggest budgeting struggle. Constant work in progress. I've learned a lot from my YNAB teammates, and I've also learned a lot from you all. And one of you recommended the site Workweek Lunch to me as a great resource. I looked it up and ended up subscribing to their meal prepping program a couple months ago, and it's been really good for me. I was able to connect with Talia, the owner, who is a fellow YNABer, and she's also a wealth of knowledge when it comes to prepping food and eating delicious meals on a budget. We're going to be working on a video together, so if you have any questions or if there's any topics you want us to cover, meal prep 101, kitchen skills, or how to make food last longer, leave that in a comment down below. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of her pantry organization tips plus my own pantry essentials. That's a huge lesson I've learned. If I'm organizing and using my pantry, I can save money, reduce waste, and make fewer trips to the grocery store. There will also be a free downloadable pantry list from Workweek Lunch that you can find in the description box. Tip number 1 is assess. I love seeing lists of people's pantry essentials. I also like to go onto Pinterest and peruse all those pictures of perfectly organized pantries. But if you're just starting out, that can easily feel overwhelming. Talia says it's actually best to build your pantry slowly. Buy 1 or 2 pantry staples on your regular grocery trips. And just because something is a must-have ingredient for me, it might not be the same for you and how you and your family likes to eat. My recommendation, take just a couple minutes and write down some of your go-to meals. If you don't cook a lot currently, you can think about what you like to order when you're eating out. Is it chicken parmesan or broccoli cheddar soup? So pull out your recipes or do a quick recipe search online. What ingredients do your favorite meals call for? And as you're writing these out, do you see any ingredients popping up again and again? This is a great way to pinpoint your own pantry staples. Now I'm gonna open my cabinets, pull everything out so I can see exactly what I already have. Tip number 2 is organize, and one of my main takeaways from talking with Talia was the importance of airtight containers. She didn't have a specific brand recommendation, just that it has a little clip mechanism. So luckily I already had some of these, and I store things like sugar and flour in there. She also talked about how lots of boxes and loose bags can look really cluttered in a pantry. So if you can, get everything out of boxes and bags into airtight containers or reuse some things you already have in your house. This is a little candy jar from the local candy shop, and then I have some other screw top jars that I've been trying to reuse. It's human nature. We eat what we can see. So as you're looking at your own pantry and how you can organize your own cabinet, keep that in mind. Put the ingredients that you want to use up in the spotlight so that every time you open that cabinet or pull out that drawer, that's what you're looking at. Tip number 3 is to meal plan. Now that we know what we have, it's organized how we like it in our kitchen. Use these ingredients you already have on hand to help you decide what to make for meals for the upcoming week. We'll get much more into this in our next video, so make sure to check back. Okay, moving into pantry staples. I believe there are 21 here, starting first with oats. Grew up on oatmeal. It will always be one of those comfort foods. So oatmeal, homemade granola. We just made some no-bake energy bites last night that were delicious. I've already eaten way too many of them, and oatmeal is one of the ingredients. We go through a lot of flour in this household. Jeremy started baking bread late last year, and I got him one of those warming drawers for Christmas. That was all he needed. He has just taken off. He was even in here earlier when I was setting up my cameras, making a loaf for dinner. So I'm including all-purpose flour because that's what we use most often. But if you have whole wheat flour, Talia made a great point that I actually didn't know, that whole wheat flour goes bad pretty quickly. And if you are curious, the best way to tell is to give it a smell test. And if it smells like Play-Doh, it has sat for too long. Next up is yeast, which I'm actually running pretty low on, and I'm having the hardest time finding it. So I'm trying to keep my eye out. I do, though, have a ton of sugar. I'm counting granulated sugar as a staple. My nice to have, if I was making that list, would be confectioner's sugar because I like to make homemade whipped cream for fresh berries. I actually just had to buy a new bottle of vanilla extract, and then we try to always have on hand chocolate chips. Jeremy likes to make chocolate chips, and Summer likes to make those haystack cookies with chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. Rice, of course, is a big one, as well as pasta. I've heard through the grapevine that our very own teacher Dave makes his own pasta. I've never done it before, but I'm kind of interested in it. Dave is working on a food-related blog post, and as soon as that is up, I will post it. One of my favorite foods, peanut butter. Love it for snacks. If there is a way to include it in a recipe, I'm all about it. And then this next one, I mean, this might be a little specific to me. I'm not always the best about eating my vegetables, so I have to rely on smoothies. I try to fill them up with as much spinach as possible and then cover them with some kind of other flavor. So I usually include a protein powder, and the one I'm using right now, I think this is my second bottle of this one. It's a vanilla plant-based one, and it's really good. Olive oil, soy sauce. If Jared's cooking, one of his go-to meals is stir fry, so that's great to have on hand. And then Worcestershire sauce, or is it Shire, like in Lord of the Rings? I actually never thought I would be having to say this word online. They didn't have my normal brand at the grocery store. Stores are a little bit weird right now, but this will be completely fine. I love both soy sauce and however you say that word. I love using those to make marinades. One of my favorite marinades is equal parts olive oil, ranch dressing, Worcestershire sauce, fresh rosemary, and a little lemon. I mix that all together, let it stand for 5 minutes, and use that to marinate chicken, and it's delicious. And if I reference any recipes that I can find online, I'll put links to those down below. Spices and seasonings were the hardest to narrow down, but I looked through my most made meals, and this is where I ended up. Garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. And when I started first cooking, I would buy those little tin cans of pepper. I didn't realize just how quickly pepper loses its potency. And when I started using a fresh grinder, that made a world of difference. And I will finish this out with Italian seasoning and cinnamon. I hope my list gave you some ideas, and the full pantry list from Work Week Lunch will be in the description box. If you feel overwhelmed though, remember what Talia said. It is best to start slow. Slowly build up, and once you get there where you have a pantry that is stocked with essentials that work for you, I think it can be a huge stress reliever. It of course makes it easier to save money, but it also makes it a lot easier when you're trying to decide what's for dinner tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what some of your pantry essentials are, and I'll be back next week with another video.